Greetings, everybody. I am Kiam Marcelo Junio, a queer holistic healer with Mahal Healing Arts, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit about the respiratory system, how our lungs work, how breathing happens on a physiological level, and so that we can have a conceptual and embodied understanding of what's going on inside of us at every moment as we're breathing. So breathing begins in the brain, and specifically in the medulla and the pons as well, which are part of the brainstem. See that? So the pons and the medulla are at the bottom of the brain right there, right in front of the cerebellum. And this is the part of the brain that reads the signals from the spinal cord about what's going on in the body. If we are in a stressful situation or if we are in a safe environment. So our fight or flight response, right? So at every moment, the brain is studying if we need to be on alert or if we can rest and digest. And it's this part of the brain that sends a signal to the diaphragm when to pull down and to pull in the air, and when to relax to release the air. So the lungs are the site where this oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange happens, right? I'm sure many of us know this, but I think it may help to just have a little bit of a review of what's happening in the body, right? So this is our body with the deoxygenated blood that we've all used up, that the cells have used up. So all of that blood goes into the heart, and from the heart then goes into the lungs, down into the little alveolar sacs where the actual exchange happens, right? And so when you inhale, you bring in the air into the farthest parts of the lungs and inflate these alveolar kind of bubble wrap sacs, and the blood then deposits or gives the carbon dioxide molecules into the lungs and into the bronchioles and pick up oxygen molecules. And so it refreshes itself. It gives the CO2 and it takes in the O2 from outside. And then that blood then goes to the heart to be pumped out through the aorta into the rest of the body, right? And then we use it up and then start that cycle again, right? So that's what's happening. And another interesting part of this too is that the walls, the chest walls, are pulling on, has a negative pressure also pulling the lungs open. So if you think of a balloon, when there's no air in it, it just completely collapses, right? So the lungs, the alveolar sacs rather, don't fully collapse when you exhale. When you exhale, there's still a little bit of air all throughout the lungs, keeping those alveolar sacs just a little bit open. And the specific pressure, normal pressure, is about 5 millimeters of mercury that's still left in the alveolar sacs on the end of an exhalation, right? So that's really a fascinating thing, because we can also optimize how much O2 we are able to take in by simple things such as just holding your breath a little bit longer when you inhale, or exhaling slower and softer to limit the amount of air that's coming out, and creating that back pressure to keep the lungs open, slightly more open, just a little bit longer than it normally would if it was just exhale, right? So all of that being said, I wanted to guide you all on just a quick breathing meditation to feel our locus of control and our breath, how we are really able to guide where the breath is going and increase the awareness around the placement of our breath and the different ways that we can modulate that air exchange, that O2 and CO2 exchange, which, you know, on a physical level is refreshing our bodies, but also on a larger, more cosmic and macro level, it's an exchange with the rest of the world, right? With the trees around and all of life around us. We're exchanging this air. So I invite you to settle into your body and begin to tune into your breath, finding it, observing it, feeling it in your body. And feeling that natural pull, that instinct that the medulla and the pons are sending to the diaphragm to pull. And inhale, and then relax, and exhale. This natural pace of the body, which we can also gracefully intervene at any time. And that's the beauty of the breath, is we can choose to be active with it or choose to just let it take over on its own and take care of us instinctively. So on the next inhale, we're going to fill up the bottom parts of our lungs, continuing to fill up the sides of the chest and continuing to fill up even more to the top of the collarbones, and then keep filling up into the neck, into the mouth, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. All the way out to the base of the breath. And then when you feel called, inhale, filling up the bottom parts and the sides and the tops of the lungs, into the neck, into the mouth, into the third eye, pushing all of that air, filling the space with air, with energy, completely. And exhale slowly through the mouth. And inhale one more time. To the bottoms and the sides and the tops of the lungs, into the neck, into the mouth and the third eye, full of breath, exchanging the air with the blood. And exhale through the mouth. Thank you for joining me. I hope this can be helpful for you in these days, these moments that we all share, these times that we are living through together. May this be a tool for you to find calmness and peace and serenity and your own power through your breath in such a simple process of just tuning in to the breath and understanding the breath, honoring the breath, and living as the breath. So, thank you and have a lovely day.